biggest concerns in transitioning our IT system was ensuring that we selected a partner that would be able to provide the same level of services that we had with our previous partner. So we worked with a smaller firm, we were a smaller team, but we were kind of used to a more hands-on approach. So our concern was ensuring that we had that same level of engagement with our partner, which we have had with CorCystems. And then I think one of our biggest concerns was sort of the transition from Google to Microsoft and making sure the team felt prepared to be able to use those tools. I think as far as the process, we had sort of launched this RFP process to be able to select a vendor that really met the qualifications that we needed for the Connecticut Project, right? So we looked at a couple of vendors and came down to CorCystems being the best partner for our organization. We had our initial meeting, went over the scope of work and said, great, this works for us. And then we proceeded to kind of like lay out the timeline of what the elements were for implementation. I think once we did that, we were able to roll that out to our team, made sure that they felt comfortable with us bringing on a new vendor that would be able to provide the same level of support, and then move forward with that. You know, we had some minor hiccups that were anticipated and were dealt with during that process, and then just kind of felt good with what the rollout and implementation looked like at the organization. I think with any program implementation, there are always going to be challenges. So some were anticipated, some were not. I think as far as user knowledge and a feeling of comfort with the new platform, I think that was a thing that CorCystems helped us like work through. I think that was much appreciated. I think we had and will continue to work on some of like the SharePoint structure on making sure that we create a file management system that works not only for the organization but for the individual teams as we continue to grow. I think CorCystems has been patient with some of those changes that have been rolling out at the Connecticut Project, and I think also some of the initial training I think could have gone a little bit more in depth, which we reflected with the team on, and then course corrected a little bit after that. I think users are at different levels when it comes to Microsoft, so making sure that we can get everybody to a kind of like the same playing field was really important for us.
I think we initially saw impacts from working with CorCystems in our environment. We felt like we had confidence in security, and then also a good partner to go to when we had questions regarding anything small from the help desk or larger for infrastructure needs. So they made sure that our operations weren't disrupted by ensuring our timelines were matched up and with clear communications with our prior vendor in terms of Microsoft licensing and the services that they provided were to be handed off without any breaks in the service or without any gaps in an experience for us as a client.
You know, one of the main reasons that we sought to have a partner in Connecticut, one is we're called the Connecticut Project, and also we were moving from this organization that was predominantly remotely to being in a work environment that was hybrid. So we wanted to ensure that we had a partner that was Connecticut-based, that could also come out to our potential site at the time. Now we have a brick and mortar site to be able to do some of that setup and support in person and not just in a virtual setting. So I think for us as an organization, really understanding what the cost to a nonprofit is, right? So we right now are on the per user fee, which works for us really well, ensuring that we get all the services that we need, from like help desk to, some of the intricate help desk tickets that we send towards CorCystems, and also sort of this understanding of how the smaller nonprofits work within the larger nonprofit ecosystem has been very important. And I think CorCystems brings that skill set to the organization of ensuring that we have this balance of, efficiency and security, but also being able to be nimble and flexible in how we do our work across Connecticut. Actually, this is funny, but it's around some of the phishing. I think phishing, spam. We've seen an increase at the Connecticut Project, and I know that partner organizations that we've talked to are also seeing that. So the ability to be able to sort of like quiz and test our team and be able to create those instances for them to not fall into in the future has actually been very important, especially as we continue to partner not just with organizations in Connecticut, but also partners across country.
In addition to the cybersecurity training for our team across the board, we've also had support with ensuring that our hardware is up to date and of quality, and also on-site support for large events or convenings that we have. Partnering with CorCystems has allowed us to have that technician on site to let us focus on the event and not worry about any unexpected tech issues that would arise during an important meeting.
In addition to that, on the outcomes side, is also being able to engage with external partners through our SharePoint site. I think Amy would agree, we have found that some of it comes down to user errors. So I think on the financial side, we've been able to engage with our financial partners in a secure way, which allows us to meet some of our budget goals and our budget outcomes by being able to share files and information in a manner that's secure yet efficient.
I would recommend CorCystems to a nonprofit looking for a managed IT firm. They're very personable, very engaging, and also very knowledgeable. So when it comes to those three things, with their great communication, it's a seamless process to engage with them.
I think I would just add that, with any transition, there's always going to be hiccups, whether they're anticipated or not. But I think we've had a very positive experience with CorCystems, and we would highly recommend them to any small or larger nonprofit because they understand and really take the time to understand our mission and our values. So as we're implementing our work, we know that they're kind of side by side in partnership with us during this work.